Hey, before we begin, I just want to point out that this video is both a reactions video and my own personal thoughts about the upcoming Halloween event. My opinions being my own, I'm mostly only able to base these off what is in the trailer slash announcement and purely as speculation. We've watched the trailer on stream, but I do feel like I've made a couple good points that it deserved its own video. Without further ado, let's get into it. Alrighty, let's see it. I haven't seen it yet, so I'm sure this is gonna be very interesting.
Listen close this time of year, and you'll hear ghosts a-wailing. I've heard them call the name of a killer even they fear. Harvest. Said he's a-coming, thirsty to cut down his foes and then rise up at midnight. They say 3 folks stand in his path. A woman with a wolf's soul, a swordsman who rises with the sun, and a seer who knows his secret name.
Okay, so I suppose we. I guess those 3 are gonna be the new hunters, maybe. And I'm assuming Harvest might be a new boss or a wild target. Either one of those, right? Or maybe it's just gonna be like a reskinned butcher or something. Who knows?
Gotta face them all before his destiny's done. Now, don't.
Oh, what's that? That's one of the new weapons, isn't it? They always like to put those. Oh, come on. Let me catch it. There you are. Wait, so that's a short Winnie with a marksman scope? Am I seeing this correctly? That looks like a sentinel. Nah, don't tell me they're actually making a senti shorty marksman. Oh my days. I mean, I've seen the videos on YouTube, people saying that the Vandal or what you might call it, what's the name of it? Infantry, I think? No, that's the new one, isn't it? Frontier. Yeah, Frontier shorty. That I won. It's got like buffed absolutely. So I'm very curious where this is gonna go. I mean, since they buffed the old Winnie, I mean, to the point it's like actually viable now, so I'm assuming maybe this is gonna be okay-ish? I mean, Senti is one of the quickest, or like the second quickest rifle in the game, velocity-wise, I think. And even then, it's also got high velocity rounds, right? This could get very interesting very quickly. Let's keep going.
Know if it's true.
Oh. Wait, so what's that? Is that just a bomb lance? Yeah, that looks like a bomb lance. Wait, hold on. It doesn't have a blade. There's no blade on it. So they... What? So there's a bomb lance without the lance now? Is that what it is? Why? Honestly, why? Wait, hold on. Is that supposed to be a bomb lance shorty? Nah, they couldn't. They wouldn't do that. A bomb lance shorty? Are you for real? Well, we're certainly getting a lot more value out of Bulwark now, I guess. I mean, depending if that's an explosive round or was like a, you know, sort of whatchamacallit, just a basic harpoon. Because if that's supposed to be an explosive round for a bomb lance shorty, then yeah, we are certainly getting a lot more value out of Bulwark. But if that's just basic harpoon with like no explosive whatsoever, and I'm like wondering, the only thought that I have right now is why? Like, don't get me wrong, but we already have the crossbow. We already have the crossbow, obviously the explosive round. We've recently... Was it this event, or was it the, like, previous patch? I can't remember. Holy crap, it's all, like, so blurry to me by now. But we've got the crossbow Deadeye. And now we're getting a Bomb Lance Shorty, I'm assuming. Like, I I just don't understand. I like don't get me wrong. I'm very happy and very intrigued by this, but I just don't exactly understand the reasoning why there would be a Bombland Shorty if we already have a crossbow or a bow for that matter. Really, it feels like it's just straight up power creep at that point. Like, don't get me wrong, but I feel like if this is supposed to be an explosive round for a harpoon, um, then both bow and crossbow are already in the at the losing pace, essentially. Because I feel like, I mean, sure, the bow, like the basic bow is, it's still gonna be okay, but the the lance is essentially gonna have the range of. I'm not even sure if it's just gonna be the range of a crossbow or even better than that. And the bow is already at a losing pace because it's just gonna get power crept by bomb lance damage. They might not have and not like that kind of range, I'm assuming. And maybe the reload's gonna be like a little bit worse, but technically you're already able to, one hit kill everyone with all three of these. So I'm not entirely sure why. You know what I mean? Uh I mean, well, we'll see how it goes. I'm very interested in seeing how it's gonna go. Oh, my bad. That's not what I wanted.
But I tell you this.
Oh dear. Yeah, this is the one I've been hearing about. Let me get a better look at it. There you have it. There you freaking have it. Actually getting a crown shorty. I mean, technically they did buff shotguns, right? They have less spread. And like they're actually way more accurate than what they used to be. To the point you're actually able to just one hit kill, like actually snipe someone with a Romero, like the shorty. And I've definitely done that. CK shorty before GTA 6. Damn, yeah. Yeah, that's incredible, honestly. That's gonna be crazy. You know what? At this point, I generally feel like the only thing that we're actually missing is a Cronin King silence or something. Just slap a silencer in that bad boy. Honestly, just do it at this point. If we're actually just going like this, just slap a silencer on it. Let's call it a day. This is gonna be very interesting. And I feel like shotgun camping is gonna go up tenfold in the coming days after the event. Is This is gonna be interesting. Make no mistake, this is gonna be very interesting very quickly.
Hear the whisper of a blade in the dark. Run.
I've heard about that as well. Okay, so I mean, I'm not even entirely sure how true that is, but I've heard that this is supposed to be a dark side activated explosive. So we go plant it. I'm assuming you probably just drop it at your feet. I don't think you throw it and then you activate it with your dark side. I mean, honestly, if um, I mean, I kind of had an idea like that before, where I I thought they could have added a fused dynamite, where you would just like lead a line with an igniter as your weapon. You could just place the dynamite, lead a line, and just pop the igniter whenever you wanted. So I technically had that idea before myself, and I'm really actually really happy to see them actually implementing this. But like, I don't know how viable this is going to be, because if this is going to be a tool, if this is going to be a tool, it's going to be massive. This is going to be absolutely massive. If it's going to be a consumable, maybe not so much, because I generally don't think most people would probably replace either like wax dynamite or frags with that kind of explosive. I don't know if it hard, but it's cool. I mean, yes, the cool factor, absolutely. Whether it fits hunt, I mean, it's using the dark side, so I'm assuming there is something to it. I mean, I'm not entirely sure how they could, explain how it works. There's definitely there's definitely going to be some magic involved in this, that's for sure, and not the hunt kind, mind you. But there's definitely going to be some magic involved in this. But again, I don't exactly think like I don't know how viable this is going to be. That's the problem. Another thing is that it really depends on how big of an explosive this is going to be, because I can definitely see a couple of roles. So I'm assuming this could be either a big dynamite, like the big dynamite bundle, or maybe there's a new kind of an explosive. So we'll definitely have to see how it's going to go. But if it's like, I don't know, the size of a basic bundle, yeah, no, this is not gonna be good at all. If it's a big bundle, like the actual big bundle, then maybe still. But another problem is that I mean, we see the hunter. We see the hunter like drop it at his feet. Hold on, watch this. Yeah, see, we just drop it. The problem is, the problem is, I don't think that's going to be that good, honestly. If you could actually throw it, and then it would stick to wherever you threw it, that would have been actually okay, because then you would have been able to use that against bosses as well, or use that as a sword to like. Let me rephrase that. Sorry, you would be able to hide it way better against other players. It sounds a bit too arcadey. I mean, then again, Hans kind of already tuned that way, like way before. I don't think that's anything new for this game, really. Still, I'm very interested in seeing how he's going to be. I mean, it looks like a big dynamite, honestly. Yeah, it looks like a big dynamite, so maybe there is something to it. Wait, hold on. What was that now? What is that? Am I understanding this correctly? Is this supposed to be a reviving bolt for a hunt crossbow? I'm actually seeing this correctly? Is this supposed to be a reviving bolt for a crossbow? But I literally just nerfed Necro. What do you mean? What is that supposed to be? They made Necro usable only once in a match, and then you need to pick it up again unless like find it somewhere. And now they give us that? Bro, what's that supposed to be? I mean, sure, you need to have a sideline on your teammate to pick them up, that's one thing. You have a limited amount of those because it's probably gonna be like, well, 3 bolts, 4 bolts, maybe at most, if they're feeling generous. And it's probably not gonna have that huge of a range unless you're like really good with a hand crossbow. Like, bro, I literally just nerfed Necro. Like, what do you mean? What's this supposed to be? What a scam! What an absolute scam, honestly. Yeah, that looks like three new hunters. That's probably gonna be a battle pass. Yeah, I'm assuming there's gonna be a Halloween themed battle pass. October 16th. Well, that's not that far off, is it now? Overall, I do have to say we're getting some very interesting stuff. That's for sure. We are definitely getting some real good stuff, but again, I'm not entirely sure about all of those yet. I mean, sure, look, they're not even in the game yet. Like, there's no way for us to tell, and more so for myself. We'll definitely have to see them in actual action to see how they're gonna go. But like, on paper, I mean, Crowning King. Okay, Crowning King. It was a long time coming. Let's not kid ourselves. It was a long time coming. If it wasn't gonna be now, it was definitely sometime in the future. The sided explosive. Um, I mean, a cool concept, really, but again, there's like so many variables at play here. One is, you being able to hide it somewhere, because I'm assuming this is gonna work sort of like a claim where you just drop it at your feet. I mean, that's what they showed us in the trailer, so I'm assuming that's what it's going to be. But then again, okay, what's the range on it? Because I don't think it's gonna be more like I don't know, 30, maybe 40 meters. They might increase it for solos, I'm assuming. Uh, yeah. I mean, it seems to be a big bundle. It definitely seems to be a big bundle, so there's that. It's definitely gonna deal some real damage. But another thing that I'm worried about is how long you're gonna have to channel it to actually, make it explode. Because if it's going to be the same case as it is with Flashbang, by the way, I've released a Flashbang video very recently. Go check it out if you still haven't. Exclamation mark Flashbang. Shameless plug, I know, shameless plug, but I had to do it. I had to do it to him. Sorry. But yeah, if it's going to be the same duration, like 4 seconds of channeling to like make it explode, yeah, no, I don't see it being used very often. I generally don't. The line between actually being viable and just being straight up useless is so incredibly thin. I don't think they even realize. Again, there's so many, like, absolutely so many variables at play here. the range, the duration, uh, the damage, the explosion range. Whether you're actually going to be able to hide it anyhow. The thing is that I wonder, are your teammates going to be able to make your traps explode as well? Because if maybe your teammates also can do that, then that's, I mean, that's another problem, isn't it? That's a whole other can of worms, really. Because that's definitely going to be prone to some, bad actors trolling teammates. But again, if your actual teammate, someone that you actually queued up with, going to be able to ignite your own, I'm just going to call it a claymore, honestly. I'm just going to call it a claymore for clarity's sake. Well, if they're also going to be able to ignite your claymores, then maybe there is something to it. Again, we'll have to see how it's going to go. Another thing that I'm really worried about is the bomb lance. That's one thing I'm very worried about because it definitely seems like the crossbow and the bow are really at a losing start. Which is a real shame, honestly, because they released such a sick skin for the bow very recently. Well, it is. Either way, I gotta say, I'm very excited for the event. Even though we've only just finished one, that being the Scorched Earth, of course. Um, I do believe that Hunt has kind of started coming to realize that the events is what up like the events is what pulls the people into the game. Because whenever there's like off season of events, like there's nothing else to do, the player base definitely goes down as people like go to other games, they do other stuff. Maybe they have some like events in other games, whatnot. But then the player base definitely goes up as there's more events, and I feel like Crytek has finally realized is that the events is what keeps people in. At least some margin, at least. Because I'm definitely not saying that it's everyone. It's definitely not for everyone. I also have seen. I can't believe I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I've checked the comments on Steam under the like the trailer announcement or whatever you want to call it. Uh, and there's definitely been some people saying that we've only just finished one event and they feel like it's too soon for another one. So again, I do sort of understand where those people are coming from because I kind of do also see myself. We've only just finished one event. It's been like what, not a week? I feel like maybe it's not even been a week ever since we finished Scorched Earth, and now we're just literally getting the Halloween event like a week after that. I am definitely kind of worried about that myself. There's it's a bit of a problem, really. It's definitely a bit of a problem because on one hand, too many events will certainly burn people out. It's definitely gonna be too much grinding, too much playing, that people eventually get burned out on the game. At the same time, though, if they take too long between events, the player base will also just go away because there's not gonna be anything to do in a game. I mean, sure, there's other content creators. There's myself who just play the game because they love it so much. Uh, there's like literally no other game on the market, and like Hunt. So there's definitely something to it, but I've definitely been on the side of people just getting burnt out because there was nothing else to do in a game. matches by themselves were getting kind of repetitive. There was, go into the match, kill the boss, and just get out. The events at least do give you some kind of a side objective to accomplish as well during your games. So there's definitely something to it as well, and it also very much intensifies PvP. That also needs to be said because the events absolutely incentivize people to actually go for fights. Being whenever you like loot hunters, you get additional points. The pledge marks, obviously, so you can spend them for the cash registers. If you need, you can get rejuv. You can get dark side boost. You can get the 4 shot boons. There's a lot. There's definitely a lot. But again, I just don't know. I'm really worried that at some point, and I'm definitely worried about that, they might overstep the boundary a little bit. Problem is, which direction is it going to be? Are they gonna take too long? Or are they gonna start dropping too many events at once? Oh my. I don't know. We'll definitely have to see about it. Either way, yeah, let's just go for some games, shall we?